Give it all the beans. That wasn't altogether bad. I gotta get longer arms so I can get a better shot at this. Old Nissan Pathfinder, new Nissan Pathfinder. One of them is a minivan. The other one is trying to be a crossover or trying to be an SUV. All right, Casey, I hate Nissan Pathfinders. They suck. Hang on a second. CVTs, Casey, CVT transmissions. CVTs, CVTs. Hang on a second. We're gonna get to all of that. Now, I will say that does have a continuously variable transmission, aka CVT, or belts. It's got a whole bunch of belts. They're whooping around, whirling, twirling, doing their thing, making some noises, making the power go. Over here, Nissan plucked that CVT and got rid of it. Now there's a 9-speed automatic transmission under the hood of this new generation Nissan Pathfinder. Now, let's have a little history lesson, shall we? The Pathfinder is awesome. Back in the 80s, it really was right head to head with the Toyota 4Runner. Nissan had it going on, but then they got confused and they started losing their way. And so they started changing a few things. It didn't happen right away. But somewhere around 2008, 2007, that's when we got to this generation Pathfinder. Is it a piece of trash? No. Let me explain to you what we're talking about here and what I'm bitching about, what I'm even discussing about. Casey, why are you bringing up things that nobody knows or cares about? Well, that's actually not true. Some people do care about it. CVT transmission. Its whole entire life is revolved around getting the best kind of gas mileage. It does not care about 0 to 60 performance time. It doesn't care about any of that. It just wants to get the best gas mileage. So, in a little bitty economy car like a Nissan Versa or a Nissan Altima or a Kicks or something like that, rock on, baby. Go get that. But see, there's two things that CVT transmissions cannot stand. Number one is wide open throttle hard driving. If you believe that every single time you get behind the wheel of your Nissan that you are trying to qualify for Daytona, you're not going to make it very long on a CVT transmission. Or option number two, if you're going to put a trailer behind that, because CVTs, you know what they hate more than performance and hard accelerating driving? Weight, towing. Casey, I think that thing's weighted to tow about 3,500 pounds. You know how much I would tow behind it if I was going to be the owner of it? I might tow a toothpick. I wouldn't tow jack shit behind the wheel of that. Not 1 ounce. But hey, that's me, and who cares what I'm going. All right, so we've got the Nissan Pathfinder 2015 right here. This is actually a pretty nice car. Got a little 4-wheel drive action going on here. I don't know if it has a low range or any of that. We'll find out when we get inside there. But I've got them here because you can see that Nissan is working back in the right direction. That actually looks like a crossover and SUV. That really does look like a minivan or something that was made from Subaru. I'm not knocking Subaru. I'm just saying the Pathfinder once upon a time was more rugged. 2025 Nissan Pathfinder. They got rid of that CVT transmission. Let me say it one more time. No more CVT transmission under the hood of the Pathfinder or the Murano. Nissan is learning. They're learning from their mistakes, the errors of their way. SL, so we've got all the juiciness, all the Zuzus and the Wham Whams. I think we're towing about 5,000 pounds. Here we go. A little power uplift. We got a 3rd row seat. Would you believe me if I told you that there's more cargo room in this than behind the 3rd row of that Toyota Sequoia? That was totally devastating. I mean, I bet you got more cargo room than that Toyota Sequoia. But anyway, so with the 3rd row up, we've still got a little under storage right here underneath the floor. Ooh, that's a deep hole. Big hole, big hole. Got no power outlets, no Zuzus, no wham-whams back here. But we can lay the seat down just like this. It is a semi-flat laying floor, but that's about all the excitement back here. Moving right along now. It looks good. I don't know about this. I don't understand this. But one of my favorite sayings when I'm out here, Nissan did not call and ask what the Hobbly thinks. They built it however they wanted to. So anyway, if you'd like to know what that's all about, you'll have to contact Nissan. I'm over here in the United States, so it'd probably be North America for me. Massive, huge door panel. Oh, one of my favorite little things right there. See, crossovers, they have so many different purposes and uses. They don't know who's going to purchase this. There could be a newborn baby being delivered home in this very vehicle, and we don't want the sun shining in to the newborn baby's eyes. So Nissan put a little shade up there for you. Got a couple of Sprite can holders up top. Got a little hand holder. Got a little water bottle holder down there. Let's do the squishy squish, shall we? Squishy. Kinda squishy. Decent squishy. Hard plastic down low. We got pockets on the back of the seats because that's fantastic. Those are for maps. We got automatic climate control. Looks like we've got some heated seats. We've also got a USB-C and also some USB-Cs, so we can charge up phones, tablets, and anything else. No vents on the back of the console, but that's okay because they're up there in the headliner. We've got a nice dual panel moonroof right there. Got a center console. Let me explain something to you. It is no longer cool to have a bench seat in the second row. Now it's all about captain's chairs. So Casey, you lose a seating capacity, you lose a seat. It's all about style and looks, I guess. But anyway, we got a little center console right there. Have a look-see back there in that third row. Look at the leg room back there. I sure as heck don't want to be there. All right, in case you don't know, I'm not telling you this to brag. I'm just telling you because this is the truth. I'm about 6'1", about 262 pounds this morning. I tell you that so you can measure your size to me, and you'll know how you fit in the back of a Nissan Pathfinder SL. Headroom, just a little bit. Now this one does have a sunroof, and in case you don't know, sunroofs rob you of a couple of inches. So if you need a couple of extra inches, and we all do, just get rid of the sunroof and you will gain some size. As far as knee room, as you can tell, we've got plenty of knee room. I cannot reach the door over there, which is a good thing. I can obviously easily ride with one more person. We don't have to worry about a second person because there's just a console right there. The back seat of the Nissan Pathfinder. All right, have a little look-see up there. Trust me, if you've seen one Nissan, you've seen most all of them. We've seen that steering wheel. It's got a semi-big bellied steering wheel, so you can go to the Golden Corral and still fit that belly underneath that steering wheel. I do like the transmission shifter. We got dual zone climate controls. We've got heated seats. That air conditioner is blowing. Are y'all having a feel of the blowage on y'all? Because I'm getting blown right here. Let's go up there and play with a few more buttons, shall we? All right. Before we get behind the seat, y'all know we're going to go underneath the hood first. We're not going to spend a lot of time right here. The main thing that I want you to know is, in this day and age, everything is about smaller engines and turbos. Even some of the smaller crossovers, they're rocking 3-cylinder engines. All about EPA, it's all about gas mileage. So smaller engines and put on 1, 2, 4, 5 turbos, whatever you can get the best gas mileage. However, Nissan went a different way. You've only got one engine option. That's a naturally aspirated 3.5 liter V6. About 300 horsepower, high 200s on the torque. It will not be the fastest. It will not be the fastest. Let me say it one more time. There are lots of SUVs and crossovers that will be better performing. However, as far as reliability goes, I got a real good feeling on that naturally aspirated engine. Also something else, Nissan Frontier, they're a mid-size truck. They're one of the few that's still rocking naturally aspirated V6s. Everybody else, except for the Jeep Gladiator, they have turbos and 4 cylinders or turbos and V6s. All right. Somebody must have really hated this because it has 3,000 miles on it. Anyway, all right, so there's your sunroof controls and all of that. We've already talked about that. Kind of disappointing on the screen because it's actually not as big as it lets on. The screen is actually very small. Casey, I hate screens. Well, then you'll love this. All right, so we've already talked about all that. Hazard controls right there. You got a wireless charging pad, USB-C, USB-D right in there. Automatic start stop right there. Hold for the heels. Driving modes. What kind of driving modes have we got, Casey? See right there, it's not much. We got sport, standard, and eco. Oh, snow. We got snow, eco, standard, and sport. Snow, eco, standard, and sport. Got a couple paddle shifters right there on the steering wheel in case you want to let your hair down and get all weird and wild. I believe this guy's about $55,000 brand new. I say this every single time. Unless it is the mother of all deals, like it's the last of a model year from the year before, it is always beneficial to buy your cars used. Now, if you've got a lot of money and you don't care, then go rock out with your cod out. But if money is something that's important to you and you don't have a lot of it, buy them used. Buy them used. Nissan Pathfinder. Casey, you're about to say some spiel, aren't you? Well, I remember the Pathfinder when it first came out in the 80s, and it was so awesome. Remember the movie, it was a Martin Lawrence movie, A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Well, Martin Lawrence and Bobby Brown, they were the two lead actors in the movie. And I guess Nissan got the contract or whatever. Anyway, Martin Lawrence, he rocked a Nissan Pathfinder, all blacked out, got a brush guard on it, and got some big, huge chrome wheels on it. Bobby Brown rocked a twin turbo 300ZX, pearl white, maybe it was red. Anyway, it was red. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I've been watching Nissan Pathfinders and Nissans for a long time, and it's certainly not the 90s anymore. And Nissan, it's not. Nissan's in trouble. Let's quit pussyfooting around and trying to find the right word. Nissan's in a lot of trouble financially. They were going to hook up a deal with Honda earlier in the year, and that phased out. Anyway, but Nissan is doing what they can do with what they got. And all Nissans do not have a CVT transmission. That is one of the craziest comments that I see in all of my videos. Nissans have got CVT transmissions. That is very true. A lot of Nissans do have CVT transmissions. However, the Pathfinder now is not one of them. It has a 9-speed automatic transmission. Too many gears, Casey. Well, that's a whole nother conversation. We'll have to talk about that yet another day. But naturally aspirated V6, so it's not going to be the fastest on the block, but I really do believe as far as reliability. So if you're a person that keeps a car for 10 years or longer or something like that, naturally aspirated engines tend to last longer, less heat, less stress. So that's just what's up. All right, we got lucky. Let's go. Give it all the beans. That wasn't altogether bad. Very smooth, even had a decent growl. Little 3.5 liter. It's an engine that they've had going for a long time. Listen, here's the thing before we end up shooting off here. Nissan makes great engines. They always have. Nissan makes a good product. The CVT transmission in SUVs and crossovers, CVTs don't like weight. And so that's why you see a lot of CVTs fail. Have a hobbly.